Hey guys, are you wanting to get faster at your running? I think there's probably a good chance that you're answering yes to that question. And maybe you found the secret sauce to getting faster, but I know a lot of us get to this point where we plateau and then we can't push past it. And we think that going out and running every single run as fast as we can is what's supposed to be getting us there. We're working hard, right? When in actuality, that isn't what you want to be doing. Yes, speed is good, but there's a lot more to it than that. So stick around with me, guys, and I'll give you the 5 principles that I use and have used over the years to get faster, as well as what I use with my runners. Hey guys, it's my rest day today, so I'm gonna take you on a little walk with me. I'm stretching out my legs. So today I just want to talk to you guys about the 5 basic principles to getting faster at your running. And it's not just the go out hard and run as fast as you can every time. And if you're doing that, I totally get that. That's what I used to do all the time. And it worked for a while. And then at some point, I just completely plateaued in my running and I didn't understand why I wasn't getting faster. Dang it. So over time, I learned what I should be doing. And so I'm going to be following or showing you these 5 basic principles that you can be doing to make sure that you get faster. Okay. And I think the most important thing to remember here is that running and getting faster is a long game. Okay. This isn't going to happen overnight. And you can't expect to just be as fast as you want to be within the next couple of months. So this takes months, years, decades of practice to actually get to the point of where you want to be in your running and getting faster. All right, so let's start with number 1, and that goes with what I'm talking about of this long game. So you need to make sure that you are staying consistent in your running. So what that means is you don't have these lulls or these periods of time where you just quit running. Okay, and so I think a lot of us, we get to this point where it's super cold, it's winter time, and so then we just completely quit running, and then we have to pick back up again sometime later. And that's not the consistency that you want. That doesn't mean you can't take a week off after, a training cycle, or, pull back on your running quite a bit. But it means you're not just taking these long break periods. And I used to do that too. I would have seasons of running and then seasons of not running. And that's not what you want to be doing. So making sure you stay consistent, that's number 1. Okay, and then number 2, you want to be running more. Okay, so whatever mileage you are doing right now, okay, if you're not getting faster, if you're not seeing the gains that you want, then you want to add on to that. Now, you don't want to just all of a sudden start running a whole bunch more. That's not safe for your body. That's not healthy. But increasing mileage about 10% from week to week is a good rule of thumb. And then you have cutback weeks as well. And then once you have a race, then you're going to need to take a little break. So you're not just increasing 10% every week forever or anything like that. But you want to get to a good mileage base, which we'll talk about in a minute. But in terms of running more, that's just helping your cardiovascular system adapt and your body become more efficient and your muscles adapt to all that extra mileage. And having that time on your feet is going to lend itself to getting faster, even with most of those miles being slow miles. Okay, so one goal to have for running more is to increase your mileage by 10% each year. Okay, so that's just a good starting point. So if you're running, 1,000 miles one year, then you can go ahead and add 10% the next year, and then you're running 1,100 miles. And just those little gains over time, you'll start seeing your running getting faster from adding in that mileage. All right, so of that mileage, you want to be running an 80% easy pace for those miles. Okay, so in order to actually increase your mileage and run more, you have to be running most of those as easy miles. Otherwise, your body's going to break down and you're not going to be able to withstand the extra mileage, those extra pressures that you're putting on your body. So then the extra 20%, that's going to be focused speed work. Okay, so the best thing that you can be doing to get faster, stay consistent, running more miles, being able to do that is to keep an 80-20 split. So 80% easy, and then that other 20% is focused speed work, okay? Which leads us into number 4. And now if you've been running hard all the time, You don't want to be doing that all the time. You only want to be doing that about 20% of the time. And you really want it to be focused on the type of race that you're going to be running. So if you're training for a 5K, then you should be focusing on 5K paces. That doesn't mean you won't ever do any of the other paces, but in order to run fast in your 5K, your body has to understand what that 5K pace is. And you might get, you'll do some intervals a little bit faster than that as well. And then if you are running a marathon, then you're focusing on that marathon pace. And again, you will still be doing some faster running, but training for a marathon, the speed work is very different than the speed work that you're doing for a 5K. It also depends on your experience level. And so there's a lot more that goes into speed work, and that's why working with a coach can be really, really important, so that you're not overdoing it or doing the type of speed work that's not good for what you're training for. But speed work, yes, you're doing it, but it's only 20% of the time, and it's very focused on what you're doing. Okay, so that leads us into number 5, and that is that every run should have a purpose. So it just means that a lot of times as runners, we're trying to get faster and we just go out for these runs and we're like, okay, we're doing 4 miles today. We just run as hard as we can. Or maybe you're someone who's the opposite and you're going out for all your runs and you're just running whatever pace feels good. Well, that's not having a purpose for your run. And I'm not saying there aren't times of year, absolutely, just get miles on your feet and just enjoy the process. You can absolutely do that. But as far as in training, you want to make sure that every run has a purpose. So why are you doing it? And yes, it could be just for the joy and the fun of it and just to get those miles. But if it's like for me, for example, in my 6 running days during the week for marathon training, I know what I'm doing for every day of the week and what type of run it's going to be. So for me, Monday, that's the long run. And the purpose is to build my aerobic engine. And then I do a recovery run the next day, because I always do hard, easy, hard, easy. So if it's a recovery run, then the point of your run is to be able to recover your body, flush out the legs, get rid of that lactic acid, and just get the blood circulating. Okay, and then Wednesday's my off day, and then Thursday is my speed work day. And so whether it's tempo pace or I'm doing faster intervals, I have a purpose for doing those depending on what race I have coming up. And then the next day I take a recovery run again. The purpose is recovering the body, flushing out the legs, same as before. And then I do a medium long run, which is great for getting time on my feet. I might put some strides in there, which strides are great for just getting those fast twitch muscles going, tapping into the anaerobic zone quickly without overtaxing the body. And then I would do a recovery run the next day. So every run having a purpose. All right, guys, so hopefully those basic principles are something that you can start doing right away, and just putting those all together. Again, consistency, running more, doing 80% at an easy pace with the other 20% speed work. Number 4, focus speed work. Number 5, every run has a purpose. When you put those together over time, you will absolutely see your body getting faster.